Are coffee prices going up? 5 months ago, coffee market froze. Like literally. The biggest producer of coffee on the planet, Brazil, 5 months ago experienced a serious event of frost around some of the largest coffee growing areas. Overnight, many coffee trees died and they won't be able to recover. Many crops were destroyed and the price for coffee doubled straight away. Media were presenting quite dramatic scenarios of coffee price going even higher in the near future and predicting that it will stay that way for a few next year. Hashtag panic mode. Hi, it's Michalina from Coffee That Gives a Pack. I talk about specialty coffee here, hoping that more and more people will turn their interest into this industry. If you like this idea, or if you want to give me a chance to try to convince you that specialty coffee industry can be very interesting, fun, that it can bring much good, like this video or leave a comment, or even better, subscribe to my channel. I do my best to make the specialty coffee industry approachable for non-geeks too. All the coffee lovers. Thank you. Today I will tell you why the subject of frost in Brazil and as a result prices going up is something that you might want to keep an eye on. How it may affect your daily coffee consumption and how to make it work to your favor. Let's go! Coffee. Beautiful. This episode is inspired by beautiful people from one of the best cafes in Christchurch, The Origin. They are purely vegan place. And being vegan myself, I am their regular customer. They have delicious coffee, amazing high quality teas, yummy food, beautiful minimalistic interior, and they always provide great service. But on top of it, they gave me a sample of their freshly roasted coffee coming from Brazil. So yep, I love them, and I will be making that coffee today with you because I really want to try it, while I will be explaining to you why theoretically none of this would have to concern you, except the fact that this coffee is from Brazil. That would make me think the frost in Brazil, and as I mentioned, the correlation of that event with the coffee price is a very hot topic in the coffee industry right now. Why so hot? The price for every coffee is very much correlated to what happens in Brazil. The country is the biggest coffee producer in the world, providing a third of the whole coffee amount in the planet. So pretty much everything that happens over there is reflected in the price of coffee in the market. Coffee on the market is concerned to be a commodity. So something just like corn or oil. And so it's sold by the price dictated by a stock market. At least that's what happens with the lower quality coffee, with the coffee that you can find in the supermarkets, on the shop, and it's known by name commodity coffee. And exactly this kind of coffee is mainly produced in Brazil. It is later sold to big coffee companies, big coffee concerns, and for them both quality of coffee and farmer's life is the last matter to worry about. With recent frost in Brazil that is described by many as unprecedented and the biggest in 25 years, a lot of coffee will be lost. Most of it being a commodity coffee. As the reaction of that event, the stock market doubled the price for commodity coffee. The future shortage of coffee is on the table right now, and so that is kind of the excuse for them to react like that. Everyone got scared. For coffee buyers, theoretically, it means that they would have to pay twice as much for the coffee that they used to buy, perhaps even more in the future, and who knows if there will be even enough coffee for everyone. If the green coffee costs more, as an effect of the snowball, everyone would have to pay more. Of course, that includes us, coffee drinkers. the consumers of commodity market products. Predictions are very dramatic. The results of the frost will be felt for at least next few years. Starbucks already increased their price. Poor consumers. Now, here is what Michalina thinks about it. 3 things. First one, is the Brazilian frost really this much unusual? No, frosts in Brazil are actually quite common. They occur in Brazil between June and August in the lower altitude regions quite regularly. And there are ways for farmers to protect themselves from losing the coffee. Of course, not everyone can afford to invest in the plantation to protect themselves from the damages. And there are physical losses, of course, but it's not like the farmers over there never heard of the frost before, and it's not like the Brazil have never lost any of the coffee crops before. Yes, the one from this year was quite severe, stronger than usually. It climbed into the higher altitudes and created bigger damage than every year. However, in many articles that I've read, the authors blame climate change for it in pretty scary tone. If you watched at least one of my videos, you know that I blame climate change for many things too, and I might as well to blame this one for it as well. But to make July's frost looking as something extremely unusual without any context is a little bit unfair to me, and it might confuse the readers and coffee consumers, creating slightly false picture of the situation. Second, will the coffee price increase so much in like no time whatsoever that all the coffee consumers should be seriously worried? Not so sure. I mean, yes, the coffee price will go up. Farmers indeed lost lots of coffee. That means that they would have to replace the dead trees with the fresh trees, and that means that it will take at least 3-4 years for them to give another bean, so long time for farmers to get back on their feet. Every coffee loss means losing money for everyone in the chain, but big coffee concerns are a little bit too big of a play on the market to not finding the way of making up for this. They definitely don't want any frost take some cash away from them. So the commodity coffee will increase 100%. But it is very unlikely that you would have to pay double for the coffee in a cafe or for your favorite bag of beans. To be fair, this year and in next coming months, you shouldn't pay more at all. I'm definitely not an expert on economics, but if I understand the basic correctly, most of the commodity coffee on the market is being sold under so-called future contracts. That means that the stockholders, let's say buyers, sort of make an agreement with the sellers of the coffee way before the coffee is even ready. They go into the future and make a mutual decision of how much that coffee might cost. So the price for this year harvest was fixed before the frost even happened. So the buyers should be paying for the coffee exactly same as they discussed in the past, and the price shouldn't change. Am I right? Why would they increase their price right now? I don't know, but maybe you tell me. Third one, was the specialty coffee also affected by the Brazilian frost? Yes. Specialty coffee buyers were already paying more for their coffee, more than fixed commodity price. But not to any stockholders, not to any buyers on the market. They realized that the whole system of creating the coffee price on the market is really unfair, so they trade directly with farmers. They want to make sure that the coffee producers receive the decent salary for their hard work. So their offer is pretty much always higher than what the commodity profit stands on. That happens in exchange of better quality of coffee, so it's a win-win situation. However, with the price of commodity coffee right now, it is quite challenging for specialty coffee buyers to make a competitive offer for farmers. So it's a fact, there is a problem as well, but specialty coffee was not this much affected as commodity coffee physically because there was less specialty coffee growing in the affected regions. And I am also quite sure that because specialty coffee is not that directly dependent on the commodity market price, they will be able to avoid very drastic price increases. And they will find a way to continue supporting farmers and providing customers with good quality coffee, just like they were doing it so far. Fourth, that would be the last one. Why am I even telling you this? If I question the prediction of coffee price going super high, why do I even make you watch this episode? It was seriously so loud. So much noise about the frost in Brazil that it made me first worried, but also think so many extreme events happen in the coffee industry really often and no one talks about them, not on such a large scale. But this one frost happened, of course maybe it was bigger than usually, but there was so much noise about it. Everyone was focused on this one particular event and bam, the price for coffee goes extremely high. For me, it is suspicious. This is not a conspiracy theory. I'm just thinking out loud. That wouldn't be the first time when the market was manipulated, but one unusual event to make customers pay more. So now I predict two scenarios. In both of them, price for coffee is going higher. Whether that will be a lot for you or not that much. Mainly I talk about commodity coffee, so the coffee in the supermarkets and little grocery shop will be increased. I wouldn't be surprised if the big coffee concerns came up with some romantic ideas of how to sell the increase of the price, because they probably don't want to use this kind of negative event as an excuse for them to make you pay more. So perhaps they will create a limited line of higher quality coffee. To meet the higher expectations of more aware consumers, they will create a special edition of coffee, or the coffee that they produce is more carefully selected. The coffee that you will see on the supermarket shelf will be now exotic, very special, sophisticated. You won't find anything better. Under the label of more carefully prepared product, they will sell you the exact same coffee that they used to sell before. The coffee will be still quite poor quality. The flavors in them won't remind any flavors that the real coffee can give you. And the farmers are still not gonna be appreciated. And so in scenario number one, you will buy that coffee. And in scenario number two, you won't. Here is my advice to you. If you really have to pay more for coffee, please consider turning your interest into specialty coffee industry that creates something like this. I'm pretty sure that this coffee, as it's very unusual for Brazilian processing methods, it was a very experimental way of getting the beans out of the cherries and then getting them ready for roasting. This is probably more expensive than any Brazil that I would find in the supermarket, but the taste of it is so rewarding. It's already cold and I still like it. I haven't added any sugar, any milk to it. It's very sweet and pleasant. Moreover, I'm pretty sure that the farmers who created this product are also rewarded in the salary for their hard work. And for me, it matters even more. The entire noise about the frost in Brazil from 5 months ago, again, farmers seem to be omitted in the situation. Poor coffee buyers, now they have to pay more for their coffee. Poor coffee drinkers, now they have to pay more for their favorite bag of beans. Yes, my empathy goes to them, of course, as well, but the stockholders will be fine. They will find a way of getting the balance between the losses and the profits, for sure. As coffee drinkers, we complain a little bit, but we'll still be able to buy the coffee, not like it was a luxury, not yet at least. But the farmers need to find a way to fight against the obstacles that life brought to them again. They would have to invest in the plantation again, wait for another harvest. They would have to worry if another harvest even occurs. But I tell you what, I think if they were supported and respected a little bit more beforehand, the situation wouldn't be such a dramatic one at the first place. Peace and coffee.